Christmas 1999, I got my first car. It was a 1991 red convertible Chrysler LeBaron. The soft convertible top had a hole in it and it was covered in duct tape so water seeped through when it rained. But you know what? I didn't care. I just remember thinking, I have a job now, so I have a little bit of money, I have a driver's license, and now I have my own car. I literally can get frozen yogurt anytime I want. And to me, that was the true sign of freedom. So we've been in this series through Galatians all summer, and we have been talking a lot about freedom in Christ. And as it comes to a close this week, I can't help but wonder, did we get it? Have I gotten it? What does true freedom look like in our day-to-day lives? A few weeks after my newfound freedom in my Chrysler LeBaron, I decided to test a few limits. And I had a doctor's appointment that afternoon, and my mom had written me a note excusing me for the second half of the day. So what did I do? I changed that note to excuse me from the whole day, and I stayed home in my pajamas and watched MTV until I had to leave to go to the doctor. And guess what? When I was driving on my way to my appointment, I got pulled over by a cop and got my very first ticket. Now, this is not a devotional about karma, because that is not how God operates. But it was a little bit of a wake-up call. Here I was with all the new freedoms of a newly licensed driver, and what was I doing with it? Lying to my parents so that I could have a lazy day of doing nothing? I probably should have just stuck with the frozen yogurt. And that is sort of the point that Paul is making as he's wrapping up his letter to the Galatians. Christ has come to set you free. So what are you going to do with that freedom? If you're going to use it to indulge yourself and satisfy your sinful desires, you're missing the point. In fact, Paul furthers it to say that path will only lead to death and decay, but walking the path of surrendering to the Spirit will lead to everlasting life. So Paul says, let's not get tired of doing what is good. I want you to do something with me. I want you to think back to when you were a school-age child, maybe like 6th grade, and it's the first day of summer vacation. Now, some of you are thinking that I'm torturing you because school just started back this week, and you literally have 10 months before you can experience that feeling again. I'm sorry, please forgive me. But think back on it. Do you remember it? No more homework, no more waking up early, no book reports or deadlines or shoebox dioramas. Just 3 glorious months where anything can happen. Do you remember how that feels? Or have you been adulting too long that you've forgotten? That is the freedom that Paul is talking about. You have been wiped clean of your obligation to the law. You've been wiped clean of your obligation to keep up and impress those around you. You've been wiped clean of your past mistakes and failures. So now what? The world is before you. The possibilities are endless. There is a broken and hurting world out there, and you are needed. So let's not use our newfound freedoms to lie around in our PJs watching MTV. Let's get out there and get after it together. As Ellie says in the Disney movie Up, adventure is out there. It may not always look like exotic places and new horizons, but life with God is truly full of the unexpected. Now, Paul literally ends his letter with the caps lock on, saying, "Notice what large letters I'm using in my closing remarks to you," which I just think is a little funny. And also, what he has to say must be important to him. And here's what he does say. It doesn't matter if you've been circumcised or not. What counts is whether we have been transformed into a new creation. Boom. Those things that you think have been holding you back or somehow disqualified you from ministry or from the abundant life God has for you, they don't matter. You are new. You are not who you used to be. And it is the first day of summer break. I can't wait to see where God is going to take us next.